Walla Walla, Washington, 1964. I was there, right at the gate of Walla Walla prison in the COVID time. Not inside. They don't let strangers walk those halls. But even from the outside, the air pressed down, heavy, as if sorrow itself had seeped into the stone. And can you believe this? More than 55 years ago, two of the greatest voices in history, Aretha Franklin and James Brown, also stood at these very gates, not as tourists, not for history. They came for one reason, to see their old friend, little Willie John, trapped inside. I didn't go there for a tour. I went for his story. The story of a man whose life burned fast, whose music shook the world, and whose death remains an unsolved mystery. It all began, they say, with something small, a kitten, a scrappy little cat that wandered between two houses in Detroit. Willie claimed it as his. His neighbor swore it was hers. Harsh words, wounded pride, and from that quarrel, a rumor took root. The neighbor, people whispered, went to a woman in the shadows, a spellcaster, a conjurer of curses, and she asked for one thing: cut his life short, shorter than a kitten would be. Let him die in sorrow, more sorrow than a stray kitten would be. Not long after, Willie recorded "Leave My Kitten Alone." To most, it was just rhythm and blues, but to those who knew the rumor, it was proof. The curse was already winding its way into his life. Willie's voice was fire, songs like Fever, Talk to Me, Sleep. His music could tear the heart wide open, but along with the brilliance came trouble. His temper raged. He fought, he drank, he lashed out. Friends whispered it wasn't really him anymore, that something unseen was tugging at him, feeding his anger, bending his will, a shadow behind the man. And then came Seattle, 1964, October 17th. After a show at the Magic Inn, Willie was restless. He went searching for more drink, more noise, more fire to keep the shadows back. First, the Birdland, a wild club on Madison Street. He sang a few tunes, too drunk to stand steady, but his voice still lit the room. By morning, the party moved to a house on 23rd Avenue, a place thick with smoke, laughter, and danger. And there, waiting, was Kenneth Rountree, a giant of a man, 6'2", 200 pounds, a hardened ex-con. The words came sharp, the tempers rose, and then the blow. Rountree's fist cracked across Willie's mouth, sending him sprawling. That should have ended it. Willie was smaller, weaker, outmatched, but something else rose up inside him. Witnesses swore his eyes went cold, empty, as if he wasn't himself anymore, as if something had stepped in to guide his hand. In one flash, he pulled a knife. His arm struck with a speed that seemed not his own. The blade cut deep. Rountree staggered back, then fell. The room froze. Silence swallowed the air. And in that silence, one woman claimed she heard it, the faint cry of a kitten. That night sealed his fate. Willie was arrested, charged, sentenced. Walla Walla became his new stage. But curses don't stop at prison gates. Inmates swore they heard the sound of kittens mewling in the darkness. Guards spoke of cold winds sweeping corridors when Willie walked by. Some even said they saw him arguing with shadows in his cell, arguing with someone who wasn't there. He still sang. He still wrote. He still tried to hold on to himself. And from time to time, Aretha Franklin and James Brown made the long trip to stand where I stood, praying their friend could survive the darkness. But the curse was not finished. On May 26, 1968, Willie John was gone, only 30 years old. The record says heart attack. Others whispered of beatings. Some blamed neglect, but those who believe in the curse say it was simply the spell, completing itself just as promised. Cut his life short, shorter than a kitten would be. Let him die in sorrow, more sorrow than a stray kitten would be. Death, sorrow, and alone. Yes, The curse returned them all to him, just as he wished others would. Leave his kitten alone. I stood at those prison gates and asked myself, how could a man so young, with a voice so mighty, vanish so easily? The truth is, no one knows, and maybe no one ever will, but his music remains. Listen closely to Leave My Kitten Alone. Some say you hear more than Willie's voice. You hear the haunting, the curse, the sorrow of a man who sang with fire, but died with shadows. This is not just history. This is an unsolved mystery. You had just viewed episode 12, The Curse of Little Willie John. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, please give it a like and subscribe to help our channel grow. Until next time, stay curious and take care.